Hey y'all, it's Alicia. Um, so I wanted to kind of talk to y'all about why I started gardening and kind of where it came from. Um, so I'm sitting on my porch because it's hot and I feel like I'm not trying to be out in the sun right now. Like I'm just not trying to be out there right now because it's like the middle of the day, so the sun is this high. It's close to like what time is it? It's like one something. So it's pretty high in the sky. So I'm not trying to be out there right now because it's hot. It's still really hot. So I'm on the porch, and but yeah, I just jumped into it. So what is this? September. So October of last year, um, I found out I was pregnant with my youngest son, Isaiah, who now is only like 9 weeks old. So he's really new. Um, and it was really hard to find that out because we already had 3 children. And I guess I was feeling like it was already really hard for me because I stay at home with them during the day. And so I just kind of was like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I can't do this. Oh my goodness, how's this going to work? And I just started to worry. I started worrying. And, I just really was on this emotional roller coaster about how I felt about it. And the people who are close to me, I kind of shared it with them and they encouraged me and everything. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I can't do this. How am I going to do this? Oh my God, Lord, like, Lord, why would you do this? And so that spring, when all the stores had everything out for planting and gardens and stuff like that, I was like, I don't know, like, I've never really had the feeling like I wanted a garden. Like, I always wanted to be able to go and just like kind of get what I need from the store. I never really thought about having no garden really. It was just kind of sudden how I just felt like I don't plant a garden this year. But then also, I never really had the opportunity to do it. Um, you know, we bought this house last year, last May to be exact. So um, I had before that I had never really had an opportunity to have a garden because I had always been in an apartment. But it was a thought whenever that we bought this house. I was like thinking, well, maybe we could have a garden, blah 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 blah. But we hadn't taken any steps to do that until this past spring, and it was like it was like an aha moment whenever I started planting things and I started growing things. Like right now, if I stop talking, listen. It is so quiet. It's so quiet. And I would go out on my deck after getting, my babies down for naps while I was pregnant. I would get them down for nap and I would go out on my deck and I would start some seeds and I would put them to the side or I would water them and just kind of sit there. And it's like I can't even really comprehend how peaceful it was. It was quiet, you know, it was just so peaceful, so calming. And it really calmed my spirit because at the time I was really wrestling with, worries and being afraid about what the future was going to be like. And um, it was hard for me to hear from God and hear God's voice because I was worrying. And then it seemed like there was so much noise. It was so loud. So I believe, this is just what I believe. I believe that God gave me the desire to want to start a garden to draw me closer to Him because it was there among, my canvas pots and my blue and red solo cups with seeds in them, that I was able to hear him again and hear from him again. And amidst all the internal storm, because I it was really an internal storm. Um, it was literally a mountain I felt like I could not climb. It was literally something I felt like I could not get over. I could not reach. I felt like I could not perform as a mom with 4 kids. Like I literally felt like I could not do it. It was not something that I could do. But how many of y'all know that nothing is impossible with the Lord? And he reminded me of that. He reminded me of he was going to be there with me, that he would never leave me, he would never forsake me, and he would always be there. And he's there for me to lean on. And it was there in the garden, you know, where I was reminded of that. And so that was kind of the beginning of the garden, um, in the containers and with the cups and everything. And so over time, like throughout the spring and the summer, um, my garden is growing. But I was growing too because I was showing more that I was pregnant, getting bigger. And I experienced so much growth in the garden. We got such a good harvest through the garden. I just felt, we were just so blessed. And I was really blessed through the process. And I believe that that's why God, you know, gave me the desire to want to do that, because He wanted to do something different in my life. And there was, with the birth of, fruit and budding of fruit, flowers, and all this, we welcomed our 6 pound, 1 ounce baby boy in July 15th of this year. And I literally cannot imagine life without him. I cannot imagine life without him in it. And, that was a really tough season for me to go through. But that, I think, is the time that I relied on the Lord the most to get through, is through that time. And now, life, all the fears, all the things I was afraid of, the fear of failure, the fear of, not being a good mother, all that, I still deal with it sometimes, but it's not even remotely the way that it was before. And I don't know, it's just miraculous and wonderful, the things that God will do when you give Him the opportunity to be in the driver's seat of your life. And I feel ridiculously blessed to have been able to participate in that process. And I look back on it now, and I look at it, looking back on it, I thought I was going to die, not literally speaking, but it was a really trying time, and I made it through. So if you are going through something yourself, it might not be, an unplanned pregnancy or anything like that, just whatever you might be going through, you're going to get through it. And just allow the Lord to be in the driver's seat of your life. Talk to y'all later.